You think I'm too? Huh?
Don't you go there.
Don't you, man? Your man.
Don't you go there.
First of all, a superstar. You are a. Put your hands on me.
I didn't touch you.
I didn't touch you.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Toni.
This is unacceptable behavior. I had to try to de-escalate it as much as I could. I didn't touch Tamar. I got in between she and Toni because Toni's smaller than Tamar. That's like a Rottweiler trying to fight a Yorkie.
Okay, can someone please get the Braxton sisters off reality TV? I mean, this family has been through therapist after therapist and still can't find peace. And honestly, at this point, there's no real space for reconciliation. Just back and forth blows every time. Toni's now fighting Tamar after Tay asked whether she thinks she slept with her other man too. Allegedly, Birdman. 2, because she's been accused of sleeping with another ex by Towanda. They are threatening to get Tamar locked up. Tamar has completely lost it. Everyone else, including Toni, is beginning to show their true colors. It's just crazy, y'all, and hella intense.
Y'all don't like me because y'all jealous.
You're a mean girl. You're lying.
Oh, you're such a hater. Y'all hate me so bad.
Oh my God. And mental illness is real. It's real.
Oh, I'm crazy?
Mental illness is real. Go ahead, Toni. I'm listening. I don't argue with sick people. Go ahead. Bitch, I will you up,
Don't
Tamar.
play
Don't
with me.
do that.
I swear to God. But you're not going to do it for my mental health when all y'all really need the pills.
Baby! If there's one thing Tamar is right about, it's that they all need to get on some sort of pills, because the way these sisters been acting lately is not normal. Ain't nothing normal about any of it. Anywho, let's just start with this Birdman situation. So, during an episode of The Braxtons, Tamar started off the dinner questioning if her sisters had anything to do with a cease and desist she received at her personal address. The thing is, Tamar's biggest issue was never just the letter itself. It was how they got her address, since she made it clear her new home is under a completely different name, like most celebrities do. According to her, for them to find that out, somebody close to her had to talk, and a lot of people believe Towanda and Trina, or even Toni, might have been the ones who disclosed Tamar's address. Apparently, the family attorney confirmed that Michael Braxton Jr. was the one who actually sent Tamar the cease and desist after they brought their niece Ashley to the show. But Tamar was just angrier about the sisters conniving behind her back. Child, before we knew it, this entire conversation turned into something else, with Tamar accusing Towanda of stealing from her for years. Tamar claims she loaned Towanda $50,000 for a down payment, but Towanda said it was a gift of $35,000. And Tamar also alleged that Towanda was using her credit card to pay her own phone bill for 4 years. That's when Towanda flipped the script and accused Tamar of being the thief and sleeping with one of Toni's ex-boyfriends. The show beeped out the name in the clip, so it's not really clear who they were talking about.
Oh, men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Toni's. You slept with them a few times.
Oh, what man?
You not get.
Now, some people speculated that the man in question was Toni's ex, Shamar Moore. Cause, apparently, the affair happened a long time ago, but most people were convinced that the man in question was Birdman. Well, on the show, Tamar also questioned Toni about whether she slept with her other man, and based on how Toni reacted, it was really giving Birdman. And let's not forget that literally a few days ago, fans were saying that Tamar was acting all inappropriate with her brother-in-law. I'm talking about the Versus battle where Birdman, Manny Fresh, and other Cash Money artists hit the stage to go up against Master P and his No Limit artists in Las Vegas during Complex Con. Toni Braxton was noticeably missing from the stage, but her sister Tamar was loud and proud in the middle of the stage with her brother-in-law, and she was not only seen twerking and bopping her head to all the hits played from both sides, she was also seen getting a little too cozy with her brother-in-law. Needless to say, the internet went crazy with people saying that there is no way on earth it was okay for Tamar to be touching her brother-in-law and wiping off the sweat from his head like that. Until we found out that Tamar and Birdman allegedly dated way back in the early 2000s, long before Toni ever got with him. Back then, it was just whispers, and nothing was ever confirmed, but people in the industry said the two were real close, and to a lot of people, it made sense why Tamar would be that comfortable around Birdman, because the feeling is allegedly too familiar, which would only mean that Toni was the sneaky one for dating Birdman after Tamar. Now, what we know is that Toni and Birdman actually got married, but then separated after 48 hours. In court documents I got my hands on, Toni and Birdman used only their initials, TB and BW. And while they probably hoped the details would remain a secret, it didn't take much to realize that the documents were about Toni and Birdman. Based on the court documents, Toni and Birdman secretly married on the 8th of August, 2024, and it says there that they separated on August 10th. Then Toni filed for divorce 2 weeks later, and in the docs, Toni and her attorney called the marriage irretrievably broken. However, Toni dismissed the divorce petition in January 2025, and Birdman signed off on that too. So as of now, they're legally still husband and wife. And courtesy of Tamar's recent drama, we have learnt that Birdman and Toni are still together. Also, as for why they stayed together, apparently guys think it's because Toni needs some sort of financial net, given her current messy financial situation. Fans are speculating that Toni, who has been open about her financial ups and downs in the past, may have seen stability in Birdman. In fact, people are saying the two are complete opposites, and that their marriage might have been more of a business move than a love story. Honey, as it stands, we still don't know whether Birdman was the man in question. But what I can tell you is that even the idea itself pushed Toni to her limits. She said her sister Tamar loves being infamous more than famous, and that it disappoints her. She also said that she has been paying her own publicists to clean up her sister's poor behavior on social media, and to a lot of people, her reaction only makes sense if the person Tamar mentioned was Birdman, especially given the allegation that Tamar dated Birdman first. Well, Tamar has also been out here proving that Toni is probably not as innocent as people think. First of all, Tamar alleged that it was Toni's bright idea to have their niece Ashley brought onto the show. Y'all remember Ashley said that her stepmother and father, Michael Braxton Jr., saw text messages between herself and her aunt's partner, who we later found out was Trina's ex Gabe, that were inappropriate, and when they first told her aunt, she was loving and upset about what happened to Ashley. However, as time went on, it felt like her aunt switched to not feeling that way, and Ashley said that as she got older, she realized how weird it was that her aunt was okay with her partner given the circumstances. Apparently, her aunt thought she started it, or that she was part of the problem, and even started to blame her for what happened. So, Tamar got Ashley on the show to talk about that, but she also said it was Toni's idea. However, with Tamar bringing Ashley to the show, people are saying that they don't think Tamar really cares about her niece's trauma. She's exploiting the situation to mess with her sisters as always. If you look at it keenly, the real story isn't about Toni versus Tamar, or who suggested what. The real story is how a niece, someone fresh to the Braxton family legacy, is being turned into the centerpiece of family drama just to give this season some spice. And then she let it spill that she was getting all the backlash, yet it was actually Toni's idea to bring Ashley to the show. In addition, Tamar also accused her sisters of harboring high levels of jealousy towards her, and called out her sisters for gaslighting her and flipping her mental health struggles against her. In her words, they were not going to make her feel bad for something she was already battling. She basically told them, "You're not going to guilt me over having depression and anxiety, especially when half of that came from y'all." And honestly, she had a point. I'm with her on this one, because flipping her mental health struggles against her is wild behavior. Anywho, she also questioned what her mental health had to do with this so-called ridiculous cease and desist, saying she hadn't even done or said anything to deserve one. Basically, she was trying to say that the dinner wasn't about to become her mental illness coming out party, and she made it clear that she's been upfront about her struggles before, and that she actually talks to a counselor both on and off set, several times a week. Tamar also said she's perfectly okay, just tired of people weaponizing her vulnerability. Well, this time we had people coming to Tay's defense, claiming that her sisters consistently gaslight her, and that people often mistake her outbursts for pure drama rather than hurt. And especially after Towanda started pushing Toni to press charges against Tamar, guys said that was just unnecessary. However, on the other hand, others have reached their limit with Tamar's emotional displays, describing her as exhausting and saying they are tired of the theatrics. In fact, people said that the entire family needs to be gathered up and thrown out of reality TV. For good. I know it's a lot, but do you actually think Toni flipped because Tamar mentioned Birdman? Do you think they are all gaslighting Tamar? I'd love to know your thoughts, so sound off in the comments section below.